Hi, and welcome to another episode of Words with Al. So, in this one, we will continue on and finish the last slides that I have left. Although this project is obviously very big and has a lot more slides coming, but that is what it is. We're just going to continue and wrap it up with the last one, which was just to remind you the key chi, tsi, chi, ji sound, right? Which we hear many places, and that we have already deciphered. But then we go on with the next big cluster, and this cluster is very significant because it became, well, this is where we see how our uh, mind and imagination developed, because these names or these words would pertain to the same thing, which means the above, the celestial, the divine, the heavenly, and a being, spirit, light, God. Very many words. Okay, so many semantics, and we will see how this would form our development. Okay, so ul, el, il, al. Okay, these sounds are very um, they carry this massive resonance. They resonate with our body, and our body knows these sounds. Okay, it really does. It's a reason why these sounds were chosen to pertain to God or deity or spirit or Allah, El, the all. Okay, and there is a reason for this. And what we hear or see is the core phonemes E or E, high luminous vowels, often tied to light spirit being, and L or L, flow, extension, continuity. But it is also just that al, el, il. So it is a vowel that is cut, meaning it is coming into existence. Okay, or that is how they intuitively resonated resonated with this sound, and thus created these concepts or ideas from it. Okay, so what we have here is together they evoke light that extends, a shining presence, divine projection, or cosmic order. Okay, and this is where this whole thing about gets quite interesting. I mean, it already gets very interesting with the whole fire and the Yesh, where we suddenly get the Hebrew people who created God or the idea of God and introduced it with hell, right? God and hell and evil. Yeah, those three were suddenly um, becoming known ideas, but they were never known before that. We did not have any ideas of hell or fire, or I mean, of fire, yes, but not of hell and not of evil, and not of God. We had of the all, but not in that way before. We had ideas of God, but God was always perceived as the all. So it was always linked to light or space, light and space. Okay. But it wasn't like a psychic deity that religion introduced. Yeah, that is very important to distinguish, because you have to distinguish the difference between being spiritual and being religious. Those are not the same thing. Yeah. Okay, so let's go on. So here we see that the Albanian word is ul, which means star, and this would later form or be the root word for the Latin stella, ella, which is also a star. And then this L would later become all. So what started as a star would later then become God and all. Okay, but not for everyone, but for the Hebrew people, because suddenly the Hebrew people started naming, calling El for God. So their whole worship or acknowledgement of the stars, of light, of suns, um, became now had eroded, and this new idea emerged of God, and that this now was El. But we see here from the other languages, because well, I haven't included Latin and the others, but I should have, where you see that they did not, the L sound did not become God. So God was introduced with the Hebrew people. And before that, we were just really worshiping the stars or existence itself, light, the play of light and darkness, of light and space. That is what we worshipped because we saw ourselves as part of this star and this space that we exist in. And then see this is very old though. Ilu is very old. We also see it in Akkadian, and then we see the Arabic la, illa, or Allah, and then the Germanic all, al, alle, and the English and German, Scandinavian, and then we have the Illumin, elevate Latin, and the Elion, Elohim in Hebrew. But we also find Elysium in Greek, ancient Greek, Elysium, which means the big star. Okay, Elysium, Shum El, meaning big star or many stars or the star. Okay, and that was the old word for paradise for the Greek-speaking people in during antiquity. So what we see here is literally that this word, this sound, has evolved to mean very many different things for different type of people who invented or realized different aspect of reality. So the Hebrew or the Akkadian people realized God before uh, the Indo-European ones, the Proto-Indo-European people, because they did not have a word for God. They did, but not like them. They had the word ze, zot, zos, Zeus, Zeus, which the English equivalent would be, but that is not how it's pronounced. It's pronounced zot, zo, zot. And then you have the Greek theos, theos, and deus, deus, right? And they all pertain to the same thing, which is the, zos, is sound, his sound, whilst theos means his speech, and Dios means his knowledge. Okay. So we had words for God, but not like that, not like the Hebrew people. That would later be introduced again with Christianity, where we then would get all, the all. And then we would just pretty much reuse the Hebrew word and the Arabic word and make that into ours. So it either was that it was reintroduced with the Crusaders, or that it uh, that the Latin and Albanian ella, would later come to mean all, because it obviously pertained to the heavens, the celestial, and then that would later be come to mean that for the Germanic speaking tribe or people that then called it all, the all, right? Whilst in the down south, in south of Europe, would that meant the star or the stars or the celestial, right? But then that would mean the all, which makes sense. Like semantically, they're within the same category, but they're still not the same. But then we hear that the word God, 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 the actual word God is introduced here with the Hebrew, because we did not have this word in Europe before the introduction of Judaism and Christianity. So this is Jude, 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 good, 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 God, God, God. Okay, so good, good, good is pretty much Jude. Okay, so Judas, yeah. So the one who betrayed Jesus, not really, because the Hebrew people are older than Jesus. So, but it was with the Jewish people that the idea of God was introduced. Before that, we did not have an idea. We did not have a psychic God living in the sky who was going to judge you. We did, however, have Zo, Zaiti, Zati, Zoti, which means the voice or his voice. And that was stillness or the music that the animals were singing. Okay, so that was, or the heartbeat. The heartbeat was the God, right? And then we get to the Greek ones where that sound, his sound, evolves to his speech. And then his speech becomes his knowledge in the Latin ones. So we have the pure one, the elementary one, coming from the Albanian speaking people, Zot. And then that would move to Theos, Thos, in the Greek speaking people. And then that would move to the Latin Deus, Deus. Okay. And they all pertain to then the first one, sound is, or his sound, and then speech is his speech, and then knowledge is his knowledge. And then came God, Jude. Okay, very scary, very strange. But there you go. If you thought that God is only good, sure, God is only good, but it originated from these Jewish people. They created this idea of God because God exists, but not the idea. It hadn't existed like this before. So that is what it means. And yes, so I will explain this a bit further now. Okay. Now we have the Indo-European echoes. I'm just going to explain some of my methodology and what ChatGPT has gathered here for me. So we have the Latin illum, illum, and then the French elu, which was an elect, right? The Germanic we have spoken about. The English, obviously, we know. And the L and Il cluster carries the sense of light, height, completeness, or and divine order. Even angel, angelos, contained in Greek contains L. But you don't only have that. You have the celestial. You have a constellation. L is always pertaining to the above, the celestial, the heavenly, heavenly. Okay. Well, Li is, yeah. But that is also, yeah, it goes in there. Even light. Light is also il, le. Okay. And then we got the metaphysical resonance. These sounds are not just words, they carry frequency. Okay. This is where it becomes rather dangerous. Because now these sounds, because they carry frequency that our body resonates with, it is easy to use these sounds to manipulate people. Okay. So just imagine that inside your body, you have triggers. There are triggers inside your body that you're not aware of, and that if someone knows about them, they can push them, push these buttons inside of you, and then you will get a reaction. You will start crying, maybe you will be moved, maybe you will be scared, maybe you will be very many different things. But in essence, what this means is that your body can be manipulated using sound. Okay. That is what it means. Because they carry these sounds, carry frequency, which is why when I look at pray and what these religions do, especially like Islam that has this imam that sings 5 times a day, that is almost uh, a hypnotic way of encapsulating people. It is very scary because it introduces fear using these ancient sounds that predate religion. Okay, we did sing these songs. We sang them. Al, el, il, ol. Al, el, il, ol. we did sing them. These are old, old, old sounds, and they meant very much to us once upon a time. And they have been hijacked by religion and now are used against us to control us and to hopefully get to heaven, which we already exist in. So unfortunately, we have lost lots of mankind. That was a bit grim, but yes, that is what it has happened, and I want to bring back the awareness regarding this fact. Okay, so they carry frequency. Ul, that which shines. El, ul. We also get ul. Well, okay, I'm not going to go in there now. But that which shines. El, that which is beyond. Il, that which connects above and below, and all, that which contains everything. One sound, many realms. In the sky, it is a star. In the spirit, it is God. In the language, it is totality. And in the mind, it is elevation. So there you go. Ta-da! So that was it for today. Thank you for listening. If you've gotten so far, it is my pleasure to share this with you guys. I I have so much more to share. There are so many more findings that I want to share with everyone, and I want to do that with time. And in terms of my last video, the Song of Fire, I hope it didn't scare you, because that one is a very powerful one, and that came straight from creativity itself. So I did not edit it. It was pure and raw, straight from the moment. So whatever you saw there can never be replicated. It can never be replicated, and I hope that I did not scare you. I did not mean to scare anyone with that message. I only meant to wake you up so that you realize your beginning and your end. Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for today. Have a good day or evening wherever you are, and see you next time. Cheers.